What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Jay Swizzy. I decided to bring my life to YouTube, and my goal is to be completely raw with you guys. I want to keep it a buck with you. I really want you guys to get to know the real me, and I would love to get to know the real you. So what better way to just jump right into the good stuff, the most dramatic thing that has happened in my life, and that is the story of how I, Jasmine Schaefer, I am a felon. So it all started in September of 2017. November, September timeline, 2017. I was hanging around the wrong people. I was drinking every weekend. I was partying every weekend. I became kind of popular in the party scene during that time. And I'm not even gonna lie, Mom, I'm sorry. Dad, I'm sorry if you're seeing this too. I was selling green, and my house was really the trap house at the time. Like it really was. I had people always coming in and out of my house. Didn't really know everybody that was coming through, just mad heads always coming in and out. And that led me to meet somebody named, let's just call him Joe. I met Joe one of these weekends, and he said, hey, listen, you look like you're about your money. You know, you're a hustler. I really like your grind. Would you be interested in making some extra money? Say $1,000 to $3,000 a week. And I was like, what? $1,000 to $3,000 a week? Mind you, I was still working a job at this time. I was working at a call center called AFNI. So during this time, working at AFNI, a call center, making minimum wage, I was like, yeah, definitely gotta do that. I didn't really know what it was that I was getting myself into, but whatever. I was about my money, and he was somebody that was friends with somebody I trusted. So I said, yeah, plug me in, hook me up, let me know what do I gotta do. And from there, he said, all right, bet. I'm gonna have somebody call you tomorrow. Just make sure you pick up. And I'm like, all right, cool. So next day, I get a phone call. It's an unknown number. I answered, and it's this guy. Let's say his name is Matt. Yeah, we'll just say his name is Matt. He says, hey, my name is Matt. Joe gave me your number. He said that you're about your money, you're about your grind, that maybe you're looking to make a little extra income. I ain't giving you no chips. They don't want to see me win. So the next day, I get a call from an unknown number, and I picked up. He says, hey, my name is Matt. Joe gave me your number. He said that you're about your grind, that you're good people, and that you would like to make an extra income. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. What is it? And he's like, well, before I give you any details, I need to meet you. So I'm going to send you an address, and you just come through. And I'm like, okay, right now? He said, yeah, right now. Like, right now. So cool. I didn't ask no questions. Some people people ask me all the time when I tell them this story, which not very many people know this story, only my close friends. They ask me, like, how did you not ask no questions? How do you just say okay and just show up? Listen, I'm scared money don't make money. Feel me? Like, I ain't really scared of nobody. I've been through a lot of stuff. I don't need to prove anything, but whatever. Anyways, I end up driving to, which is, I live in Tucson, Arizona. It's about 2 to 3 hours from the border of Mexico. Is a border town. So I drive about an hour and a half to 2 hours. No questions asked. And I show up, I pull up, I'm in my little Ford compact car. And this guy comes out, and he looks young. He looks very young. At this time, I'm like 20 years old. This was like 3 years ago. I'm 20 years old. He looks like maybe he's like 17 or 18. And immediately I'm like not scared anymore. I'm like, this little ass kid. All right. So I get out. I'm like, hey, I'm Jasmine. He's like, hey, I'm Matt. I really like your car. It's perfect for what we're gonna do. And I'm like, so what is it we're gonna do? He's like, oh, Joe didn't tell you? And I'm like, nah, like, I don't know anything. And he's like, all right, bet. You just drove out here? And I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, okay, well, go ahead and pull your car into my garage and you can come inside and we'll discuss everything. I'm like, all right, bet. So we go inside. Long story short, he tells me that I'm about to smuggle immigrants. What? Like humans? Like I'm about to smuggle humans. Yeah. I'm not gonna get into the details of how things work on the inside, but basically humans were in my trunk, and the first time around they went with me. They drove in front of me, and they sparked up a blunt in their car so that at the checkpoint the canine dogs would purposely pull their car over to distract them from my car. A little tactic, but it was very scary, very intense for me. But at this point I felt like I couldn't go back. There was grown men in my car, and then there was grown men around me, and this is now the cartel that we're dealing with, and it's a very serious thing. And I could have gone back, but you just have to understand, man, y'all don't have to understand shit. I didn't know what to do. I was just gonna do it, and that's that. So they went with me the first time. They were the distraction. I made it through. My heart was racing. Just regular checkpoint. Hey, hello, are you a U.S. citizen? Yes, sir, I am. I mean, I like to think I look like a good girl, but I just passed right through. And then they told me to wait for them at the resting point. We drove all the way, like 2, 3, 4 cities out to drop off the immigrants. We called them chickens. That was like the code word. We dropped off the chickens 4 cities out. They were with me. After the job was done, they literally handed me $3,000 cash. $3,000 cash. I'm 20 years old at the time. I have never seen money like this so quick in one day. Cash, no questions asked. Receiving that money, it was such a what? How much I work for that kind of money really kind of switched things around for me in my head. I immediately quit my job and I started doing it regularly, and I'm not proud of it. I'm gonna fast forward a month later. I go to do the job, but this time they can't go with me. But they say, we trust you, you've been doing this with us for long enough. We trust you, so here's the money. They gave me $3,000 right there. Here's the money. You know what it is, you already know. Go on. All right, bet. So I went about my business. Now, a little random fact. I have this tattoo here. It says Corinthians 16:13, and that verse is, stand firm in the faith, be on your guard, be courageous, be strong. The reason that I got that tattoo, it was right after an abusive relationship that I'll go over in another story time. However, before I would cross over and have, the border patrol check you and stuff, I would always read this verse out loud every time. But for some reason that day I didn't. And I don't know, thinking back now, I guess maybe I put things in my head, but I drove through, and immediately the canine dogs start to bark and jump on my car. Miguel's Skywalker, the song, playing in the background. I swear everything went slow motion from that point. The border patrol officer asks me, ma'am, did you smoke in your car maybe? Did you smoke marijuana? And I'm like, no, sir. He's like, okay, did you have any friends that maybe smoked in your car, or do you have any drugs in your car? And I'm like, no, sir, I don't. I already know what's about to go down. Your girl is about to get busted. He said, okay, no problem. Well, our dogs, the canine dogs, are barking and they are jumping, so we do have to ask that you go to our secondary checkpoint, or whatever it's called. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I don't know how I was so calm. My heart was not racing. I was very grounded. I already knew what was about to happen, and I know that if I would have reacted any type of way, it just would have made things 10 times worse for me. So I said, okay, no problem. And I pulled over to the checkpoint. They said, go ahead and leave your car running, step out, leave the door open, and you can go sit over there under the tent. Okay, so I go under the tent, and I'm literally just sitting there waiting to find these two grown men in my trunk. And I'm just sitting there scrolling through my phone, trying to act calm. And in that moment, somebody just grabs my phone from out of my hand, picks me up by my arm, turns me around, and puts me in cuffs. They then, about an hour later, took me to ICE. It was ICE. They took me to ICE. They put me in a room by myself where there's literally just a toilet and a very, very thin mattress to sleep on. And they provided me with this tin foil blanket, like a foil blanket, so thin, it was literally foil. Every movement that you made, it made that crinkly sound. I then was interrogated. I really don't know how long I was in there because there's no windows, there's no clocks, nobody's talking to you. They told me that I would get a phone call after my interrogation, and I did not get a phone call at all, ever. My mom doesn't know where I am, my siblings don't know where I am, nobody knows where I am, my friends don't know where I am, nobody knows anything, because the only person that knew what I was doing was the guy that I was dating at the time. And that's literally the only person that knew what I was doing, what I was getting myself into. So God knows what they were thinking. Days go by. They then transfer me from that facility to my hometown, Tucson, Arizona. And I'm kind of like thankful. I'm like, okay, good. At least I'm in my city. I don't know exactly what's about to go down, but they tell me that I'm waiting for a court hearing. Now I'm in a facility, not by myself, but I'm in a room that has about 4 or 5 other females in there. I'm assuming that they were immigrants because now we're just mixed. It doesn't matter if you're a U.S. citizen or an immigrant, like y'all are together. This is just ICE. I mean, I don't know. I didn't talk to anybody in there. Nobody was talking to anybody. Everybody was very quiet and kept to themselves. The only thing that we were eating was these little juice boxes and these burritos that they gave us. That was all we were eating. Still don't know what time it is. Still don't know how many days I've been in there. Kind of just, I couldn't really even sleep. Some of the other girls were like only sleeping, but I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep. There was, the way that it was set up, it was like a giant clear window, the wall, so you could see all the officers and stuff walking by, and you can see in the other rooms on the other sides, but I think it was just so that they could see us if anything was to go down. We were told that we were waiting for a court hearing to speak to a judge. So I'm trying to think in my head, like, what am I about to say? Like, I don't even know what kind of questions they're gonna ask me. I just feel cornered. I feel cornered. I don't know what to do. I've never been in a situation like this. I thought my life was about to be over. You get 1.5 years per person that you're caught with. Per person. I was caught with 2 people. So here I'm thinking, it's about to go down. The judge is going to tell me that I have to spend 3 years in prison. I think about 2 days go by, and one of the officers come in and they name 3 of us. 3 of us are like, Jasmine Schaefer, so-and-so, and so-and-so. You guys have 5 minutes to make a phone call. Tell them that to pick you up on the corner of Golf Links and Craycroft at the Circle K, which is a gas station. And we're all just like, what? That doesn't even make sense. What's about to happen right now? We're in blue jumpsuits, like these blue paper jumpsuits. They give us our stuff that they had confiscated from us. Mind you, all my money was with me. They took all $3,000 that I had. I'm left with nothing. They left a $20 bill in my purse. Like, thanks. Thank you very much. That 20 is gonna do me so much justice. They told us to make our phone call. I called my sister, and they literally dropped us off at a Circle K on the corner of Golf Links and Craycroft. Me and another lady, she told me that the reason she got arrested was because she saw some hitchhikers, offered them a ride, and turns out that they were not hitchhikers. They were immigrants, so she got arrested as well. Me and her are talking, and we're so confused. Same thing's happening with her. She doesn't know what's going on. We haven't talked to anybody. We just know that we're getting dropped off at a gas station on a corner wearing blue jumpsuits. We then go inside to the Circle K, and immediately as soon as we open the door to the Circle K, the guy says, "Need to use the phone?" And I looked at him and I said, "Sounds like you do this pretty often." He's like, "Yep, every Tuesday." So cool, now I know it's Tuesday. Great, it's Tuesday. Make my phone call. That's crazy. Every Tuesday they just dump a bunch of people off at the Circle K on the corner. That's wild. I'm wearing a blue jumpsuit. I make my call and I'm just waiting there. The guy was nice enough to give us some water, and as if I think things could not get worse, one of my business friends walks into that Circle K. I literally tried to hide in this little ass corner, and she sees me and she's like, "Hey Jazz, like what's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, how do you even explain to somebody, like I'm literally wearing a blue paper jumpsuit. I don't even know like how to explain myself." This woman looks up to me. This woman sees me in a very professional aspect. We have a very professional relationship, and this is how she's seeing me right now. So she looks at me like up and down. "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. My sister's coming to pick me up." I told her the story that the lady told me. I told her that there were some hitchhikers, that I picked them up, and I was arrested because I picked them up. That's what I told her. Now she knows the truth, but that's just what I told her at the time because I was scared shitless. I didn't know what to tell her. I didn't want her to go off and tell all of our professional friends what had just happened. My sister picks me up. I take a bus to my mom's house and I break down to my mom. I tell my mom everything that just happened. My mom has no idea what I've been doing. My mom hasn't heard from me, but I just tell her everything. I'm very honest with my mom. My mom is like my best friend, and so I just told her everything. So she helped me. She took me to the courts. She helped me make phone calls to try to figure out what was going on. I didn't know if I had any court dates that I had to attend. I didn't know if I had any fees that I had to pay. I didn't know anything. I literally just got dumped off at a gas station. God knows what is going on, but they did impound my car. I tried to get my car back. I had to write a letter. They denied my request to get my car back. It was a really big wake-up call, and that's when I decided to move across the country by myself with no money, but we'll get into that in another story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that you guys could appreciate me being raw to you guys and me telling you guys that. That's the first time I have ever really told that story to people. The only people that know, there is probably like 5 people that knew that story. But now it's out to the world, so love me or hate me, take it how you want. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna continue to live my life and continue to grow into my best self, and I can't wait to take you guys on this journey with me so you guys can see how far I've come on my journey to personal growth. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at jswizzy. Go ahead and leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.